I want to thank Steve Kinder for coming by, and of course, this is the What We're Thankful For edition, and Jody Gleason, she's so thankful for Skip in many ways, but Skip is the assistant women's basketball coach, and of course, husband to Jody Gleason. What's this, 2 or 3 years now you guys have been working?
It's our second year doing
Second
that,
year.
yeah.
So how is it being married to the coach?
Yeah, it's good. At the end of the day, you head home and you still have a couple things to talk about. You don't have to pick up the cell phone. You look across the dinner table and knock out a couple things, and we don't have to fight for the VCR anymore or the DVD player to watch some game film or recruit tape. So.
It's a special relationship, and it's incredible. It's really cool that it happened. Has it worked the way you guys expected, or did you really have no idea how this would work getting into it?
Oh, I think you certainly were comfortable with it. We wouldn't have jumped into it if we weren't. I don't think you can ever say exactly that you knew exactly what was going to be the details and the arrangement, but we're both very comfortable with each other and open with each other and have had a great relationship and 10 years of marriage, so we knew going in that we'd be able to work together. Our philosophies are very similar, and we're both very competitive. We both like to win, and so we knew that was going to be an easy same page for us as well.
All right, let's talk about your background. Obviously, you played at Chico State, and then you coached men, and most recently you were at Chico State as the head, CR as the head coach. Played at Chico State. You were an assistant for Tom Wood, always around the fellas. What's the transition like coaching girls?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest difference is the bus rides and the social aspect of it. They're very they're very social. They love to chat and talk, but I tell you what, the business part of it is very similar. They're very competitive. They work very hard. I think there's a little bit more of a family aspect with the girls. They really look out for each other, and I think that's part of the social makeup of what they're doing. But I don't see much difference. Certainly there's some physical differences, size and speed and those types of things, but as far as work ethic and skill ability, those types of things, not much difference at all.
Now what about the stereotypes? Talking with Coach Combo earlier, practice going strong here, not over. By the way, he mentioned the emotions and how women are different than men. Men may be the big egos. How is that different between the two?
Yeah, I think that's a good example. I think with guys, you have to earn their trust a little bit over some periods of times. I think the girls come in a little bit more ready to trust you and to listen to you, and I think you can lose that. Whereas opposed to the men, I think it takes a longer period of time for you to earn that from them, and they want to see if you know what you're talking about before you've got that trust from them, where the girls, I think, come in with a little bit more of that right off the bat.
What about men, women after a big win or big loss? How are they different?
I don't think there's much difference. It's pretty darn quiet in our vans, in our locker room after a big loss, and so those are similar. About halfway through our ride the other day, things, after a tough loss, things were, the girls kind of pick each other up a little bit and those types of things. So I don't think there's a lot of difference between those two things. I think that, competitors are going to be angry, upset with a loss at the end, and that's about it for that.
Now you and the girls, you're up to Nampa, Idaho for another big preseason tournament. A little bit of practice this morning here on Thanksgiving Day. How does the team, obviously you and Jody are family, but these are really your kids for the winter. How do you guys spend Thanksgiving?
Yeah, the girls did a little dinner the other night. They had a big dinner party themselves, and Christina O'Keefe really spearheaded that. She's one of our seniors, and so she's had everybody over to the house, and they had a big deal, so that was fun for them. And then, on the road, like we said, it's a family-oriented program, and we kind of consider it that way. So we'll get up there to Nampa and find a Denny's or something to have a little food and treat ourselves to a Thanksgiving dinner that way.
All right, let's talk about the new Lumberjack Arena. You haven't played an official game here yet. You had an exhibition, but we're talking to Steve Kinder, you being an assistant, recruiting is a huge part of your job. How has this arena, or how do you think it will help recruiting down the line?
I think that with the East Gym that we had before, on game day, when you could see it packed with people, you could really understand what was happening and the emotions with the crowd and the feeling. But when it wasn't game day, I think it was hard to simulate that. You brought them in there and it looked like a high school gym, and when you come into this place, even when it's not game day, there's a sense of whoa factor that you come in, and so I think that's a big deal for when you bring in recruits and their families, and they like to see nice facilities. People all want to play in an arena that is state of the art, great training facilities, equipment facilities, locker rooms, and those types of things. And certainly on non-game days, we can bring recruits and their families into here, and they get a sense for that. And then on game days, it's fantastic.
All right, talk about recruiting. What's it like being on the road and meeting the parents, and how do you sell the ladies opposed to the guys on Humboldt State?
Yeah, I get a kick out of it. The guys all think that they're going to the NBA.
Right.
So, that's the biggest thing with them.
Going to the league, coach.
At least, working with the women, they have a better understanding of what they want to do academically. They're looking for a program fit. They're looking for an academic fit. And so the girls actually make decisions a lot earlier. There's, NCAA statistics show it's about 30% more sign in the early period for the women than do with the men. So they're ready to commit. I think they're more organized and ready to look into schools at a younger age. And so I think that things happen a little bit earlier with the women, at least in my experience, than they do with the men.
All right, Black Friday is tomorrow. Technology. That's the big seller, of course, for the guys.
Sure.
How has technology, email, text messaging, all that changed the recruiting game?
Yeah, it's the NCAA has a lot of restrictions on what we do, and so we are definitely BlackBerry, Palm Pilot, constant email contact, instant emails going back and forth with recruits. You'll get your blogs and your web hits and your online recruiting visits. Definitely, especially at early ages, that kind of stuff, because we can't contact them until a certain age. We can write them as a junior, we can call them as a senior, but we're getting a lot of information off of our website. And this generation of kids is so used to doing things over their phone, over the internet, that you have to communicate and participate in that, or you're going to miss out on a lot of it.
But is the philosophy still the same, and just the communication change, or has the game changed completely?
Oh no, I think that you definitely have similar philosophies. You got to establish your relationships with your recruits, with their coaches, with their families. I think the way the communication is happening is a little bit different. Instead of doing it all through a letter series or phone calls, now you're getting more of the emails, some video type stuff that you can do as well.
All right, Skip, are you a white meat, dark meat guy? What kind of?
I'm all about the mashed potatoes and the stuffing. I don't need the cranberries. I don't need the green bean sauce. I need the meat and the potatoes. Definitely a white meat, a little dark on the side.
All right, I like it. Real quick, how are the ladies holding up with the pressure this year? Obviously, expectations are high for them.
No, I think the expectations come internally at a higher price than what other people expect. So, we expect to compete for the league championship. We expect to be a regional team. So I don't think any outside pressure affects these guys at all. I think that pressure is imposed on ourselves. We expect to do well every day when we're going out. So we look forward to the challenge.
Great job. 2 buzzers. We didn't miss a beat. All right, he's Skip Gleason. We're going to find out what the folks around here are thankful for right here on Humboldt State tonight.
Interception. The commission of the More Taste League. Bingo. You fellows have gotten your hands on some non-sanctioned light beer?
There was a big shiny display.
The league only recognizes light beer with more taste and the scant 3.2 grams of carbs. That's the yin and the yang, the bottom, the bing of light beer. Yes.
So which beers are league approved?
Beer, singular, Miller Lite.
Commission's wise.
Amen!
The official beer of the More Taste League. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Blackjack is one of the most popular table games here at Bear River Casino. Let me show you how it's played. You need to get closer to 21 than the dealer without going over. Once you place your bet, you get 2 cards and the dealer gets 2 with 1 face up. If you have a 17 or better, you have a pretty good hand. If you have an 11 or less, take another card. You can't break. When the dealer has 7 or better showing, it's usually a good idea to hit until you get 17, then stay and see what happens. Ask the dealer if you need help and come play blackjack at Bear River Casino.